Hi Geekers, how are you? Hey, I just watched the Superman movie by James Gunn. I just got to my hotel room. That's why you see, so I'm recording. Actually, I'm on the floor because I can't find where to put my phone. But I wanted to record this video with my first impressions of the movie. I probably won't be able to post this video until around July 7th or 8th because that's when the embargo ends. If you saw my social media recently, you may have noticed I didn't mention watching the movie. And that's because they specifically ask you, hey, you know what? Don't mention that you watched the movie yet. Don't mention anything yet. Nothing at all. So, well, that's why I'm only making this video now, but I wanted to record it quickly so I wouldn't forget anything. Covering all topics. So this video will have minimal editing. Maybe I'll add some images, maybe some videos here and there, but really it's more about my first impressions, obviously without spoilers, of what I feel the movie is about. That way, everyone can see the movie and form their own opinion, which I think is important. First of all, I have to talk about David Corenswith as Superman, and honestly, he's a great Superman, a really great Superman, but it's something different from what we've seen. I think a lot of us have the idea that he's gonna be a more classic Superman, and he is in some ways, for example, in things like his moral sense, in his view of the world. He's a more classic Superman in the sense that he's optimistic, but I do think there are other things that make him different. I think one of the things I liked most about the movie was David Corenswith. As Superman, he's truly a great Superman. Well, I hope it gets better. I don't know if everyone will like it, since we're used to seeing a Superman who's very solemn, very serious. Even Christopher Reeve. Christopher Reeve was very solemn. He was like everything, just perfect, right? And this one is different, right? But I think one of the things I liked most about this movie was Superman. And I think the same thing happens with Lois Lane and Lex Luthor. Lois Lane is a great addition to this movie. This really is a Lois who helps Clark, but she doesn't set aside her journalist side. And Lex Luthor too, I think he's a great Lex Luthor. Is there anything in particular? Obviously, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but it's a lot about his intelligence. And yes, obviously, right? But yes, it's a lot about executing everything, a strategic plan to achieve his goals, which was something I wanted to see. So, well, I think at this point, I have to say it's a 10 out of 10. Honestly, Superman, Lois Lane, and Lex Luthor are all amazing. I think the casting is great. But I also think that something that's going to get a lot of people talking is that, like I mentioned, it's not a classic Superman movie. James Gunn, he takes a lot of risks, so there are certain decisions that some fans might like and others might not. So, I think it's a movie that's going to be debated. It's not really a movie that's just trying to please everyone, which is good. I really respect that from a director. That he doesn't just go and give the fans everything they want, but instead takes certain risks. And I think these risks are particularly noticeable. Not in the movie's tone, since it's definitely a James Gunn film, right? So, for example, I think a lot of us felt that he was going to tone things down, maybe a lot more. Like the James Gunn style we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy and similar films. And he does adapt his style a bit to Superman, but does it still feel like a James Gunn movie? Yes. Just like with all these things which we analyzed in another video, certain particularities, certain characteristics of James Gunn's filmmaking, this movie has them all. So yeah, is it really Superman seen through the eyes of James Gunn? And at this point, something that James Gunn wanted to do is represent the Silver Age of comics. The movie feels very Silver Age of comics. So, well, I also feel like that could be one of the controversial points because maybe some people like it. And well, they accept this more science fiction side of Superman where there's a kaiju like we saw in the trailers where there are much weirder concepts, right? This one, without getting into spoilers, obviously, but concepts that are very fantastical that we haven't seen in other Superman movies. We see them here, so some people might wonder where they came from and what's going on. This is the style of Silver Age comics and should be viewed from that perspective. Another very important point, if you think the trailers gave us a lot or gave us a lot of spoilers, the trailers really didn't. Most of the trailers are from the beginning of the movie, which also surprised me. There really are a lot of things to see in the movie. One of the things I personally would have improved is that maybe I would have given the movie more time. I mean, it's a movie that's about 2 hours and a bit. I think I would have added another half hour, right? Because I also feel like that, I mean, the events themselves unfold very quickly. So it's a really dynamic movie. And honestly, I do like it when things move a bit more slowly, you know, when certain things are explained a little more. Finally, and this is very important, I want to say that the movie will definitely have a lot of controversies because, as I said, it's not a movie that tries to please everyone. So James Gunn, there are certain moments where it does break away from the canon. Well, there's a moment where it breaks away from the canon of what we usually see in Superman stories. And well, I have nothing against something breaking away from the canon. I think that's what the canon is for, to be reinterpreted depending on the time, depending on the situation. And the only thing we should care about is, okay, did this work for the story? Is the story good thanks to this change? Or did this change have something to do with the story being good? If that's the case, for my peace of mind, for example, a case where I think it's well done is in the Dark Knight trilogy. For example, Bruce Wayne wasn't much of a detective, was he? That's something that changes from the comics, but for the standards and for the story that the Dark Knight trilogy presented, it's something that worked. Here's a big change, and I do feel that this change is going to be a point of a lot of controversy. Yes, I feel it's going to be a point of a lot of debate. I'm not sure, but I feel like it's at that level. The conversation that Jonathan Kent has with Clark Kent in Man of Steel, that conversation that has been much discussed. Should he have let them die? Jonathan Kent says maybe. I mean, if it's something that big, and there's also another change, well, not a change, but rather another interpretation of another character that I'm not going to mention, but yes. The presentation of this character or the portrayal of this character could be weird, right? I feel like some people will ask what happened here. It's like with a character that shows up here and there. And also, for example, I think it also happens with a character from Diario del Planeta. It's like you say, like, okay, well, it's certainly a different interpretation of this character. Well, yeah, it's going to be a movie that's going to be discussed for a very, very long time. And after watching the movie, that's what excites me the most about the whole thing. Seeing how the movie is going to be perceived by the audience, right? I mean, because I was expecting something much more classic, but it also takes its risks. So I'm really interested to see how the audience will take these risks and the conversation it's going to generate in the coming days. So for example, right now, well, I'm still unsure how the movie will be received since no one has discussed it yet. You'll tell me in the future what happens. You'll tell me how the movie is doing. I hope it does well because you can tell they put a lot of love into it. Mainly, it's the cornerstone of the C universe. James Gunn recently said, if it goes well for us, that's great. If not, that's okay. Maybe nothing will happen. But I do think we know that the Superman movie is a very important point for the C universe. The next one is Supergirl. So, well, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how the universe sees it. I hope we have this cast for a while because definitely David, Rachel, and Nicholas did a great job as those three characters. From now until July 7th or 8th, I'll see how I process the movie I just watched and enjoy this amazing experience. It's one of those times you keep thinking about, right? Thanks for watching this first impressions video. That's all for today. I'm Go the Monitor Geek and keep looking beyond what's obvious.